Hello, my name is Chris Patantu, founder of CK from Day Productions, which is a media production company. We offer various services from brand consultancy to video editing, videography, cinematography, DOP work, art direction, and a lot more. Here speaking on behalf of the Photography Foundation, and I'm here to speak to you about still life. How does one become a photographer? I didn't go to university to get a degree for it. I decided to chase various different avenues, which was all corporate related, and eventually, being surrounded by circumstance and the friendship group that I have, who are all creative people, naturally I started working at my creative skills. And the first one of that was photography. I was working 12-hour shifts 5 times a week, grueling hours, and I eventually got bored of that. So as I said, I had to find what I was on. So I started doing tutorials on Photoshop, on Adobe Premiere Pro and all the other Adobe Creative Cloud programs. By learning those programs on YouTube, I spent countless hours doing the research. I ended up buying a GoPro and a £400 Canon, which was like a Canon Mark 1 or 2 off eBay. I had to figure out how to legitimately make money from my creative endeavors, which was obviously at the time photography. So doing the research, I figured out that you had to create a company or become self-employed or both. So I decided to do both because the more the merrier. So I founded CK from Day Productions, and I've been doing work with clients from musicians like, grime stars like Novelist, who you may know, to doing more personal projects where I self-shot a documentary on the fragility of mental health whilst in lockdown for young inner city kids, or adolescents, should I say. So I did that on my own. There was no budget, set everything out, the mood board, etc., etc. That's a bunch of things that I've done pretty much since then. So the way I've learned how to shoot still life photography is by being as abstract as possible, by using different things to allow you to articulate whatever type of story that you choose to go along with. So it could be an arrangement of plants or leaves that look different or are positioned in a different way on the plane, which will affect the perspective of the still life or the subject you're trying to focus on. Speaking on perspectives, perspective is a main factor in shooting still life photography, by making sure you have the appropriate lens for the vision that you have in mind, because some lenses will affect the perception and the distortion on the subject and the viewer's eyes, basically. Things that affect still life photography is a composition of an image, which has been described, which is obviously the exposure, which is the shutter speed, and which is the aperture. By those 3 things, you'll be able to take the best quality picture for that specific scenario. And with still life objects, you want to have you can have the shutter speed quite low, because as it's in the name, it's still life. There's no movement anyway. So if your camera is on a tripod, for example, there should be enough space for you to change the settings where you don't have to compromise the image. You can take motion out of objects by ramping up the shutter speed. And by doing this, it gives the illusion as if the object that you are trying to take a picture of is suspended in time, which is one thing that will allow you to make that look like that. As I was saying about being abstract in regards to still life photography, you can achieve certain looks. You can take out motion from subjects and make it look as if they are suspended within a frame by ramping up the shutter speed, and that will allow you to achieve the still life photography look. As an example, if you have a fast or high shutter speed whilst taking sports or action type photography, which is a lot of motion involved in that. If you don't want it to blur as much, you have to speed up the shutter speed, and that will allow you to capture more motion. Photography tip number 1. Google every question you have in your mind about photography. You can do it about anything, but I'm just in regards to photography. Especially in still life photography, there's a lot of technical aspects that you shouldn't expect yourself to know, or shouldn't expect yourself to continue to remember, because there's a lot of things to learn. So as a reminder, the internet is your best friend. I've learned everything that I do today through the internet, so I mean most things, of course. By being thorough and being precise on your search, you'll be able to get more concise information that you'll be able to apply to your life. Yeah, if you have any technical questions, if you have any examples that you want to see or anything like that, literally use the internet. Tip number 2 from CK. I believe that you should always be working on your interpersonal skills. So being able to approach people, being able to resolve conflict, or to de-escalate situations, or to be able to put yourself in spaces where there's an abundance of opportunity. So yeah, working on your soft skills, which is like speaking to people and all the things that I listed before, being more approachable and so on, that would help you go very far in photography. Tip number 3, I believe it's best to be intentional and to be conceptual with your work. So by creating mood boards in your free time, or just writing down ideas that you have onto your phone or anything like that, and developing those ideas to the point where it could possibly be tangible and something that you could literally just plug people into that plan and it would be able to function. Until then, yeah, just keep working at your craft, really. It's just a case of practicing and being consistent with it, rather than you know, taking a picture every 3 months. You know, you want to do it every day, even if it's not like part of your process.